Now, you would think that if there was just a giant scandal involving you taking money from Russia, you would think you'd be a little careful to try to make sure that there's zero indication that you're ideologically captured, right? Or they're paying for a specific kind of content that is pro them and anti their enemy. You would think that this would be the first thing on your mind, right? At the front of your mind is like, all right, I got to be a little careful here to not look like I'm riding Russia's meat, because it just came out that I thought I was taking money from a shady billionaire, which is bad enough, by the way. Don't take money from shady billionaires. Crazy, I know. But it turns out it was actually a covert operation where Russia was sending me money for my commentary. Gee, why did they pick me? Why did they pick me? What is it about me that they thought was so great that helped spread their argument? So anyway, Tim Pool, in the wake of the second Trump assassination attempt, which didn't get very far, by the way, the Secret Service did their job. They nipped this thing in the bud. They shot at him. Dude ran, and they caught him later. This guy didn't have Trump in line of sight. He didn't get a shot off. So everything, it went properly. Like, what was supposed to happen to stop a threat is exactly what happened. Okay. Tim Pool comes out, talks about this guy. And guys, not to pat myself on the back too hard, except that's exactly what I'm going to do. I told you what was going to happen in the fallout to this. I told you. People would focus on whatever part of his story backs their political narrative that they prefer. That's what they're going to focus on. So in other words, the neocons, like the Ben Shapiro types, they're going to bring up, oh my goodness, he was for the Iran deal and he turned on Trump after Trump pulled out of the Iran deal. And he wrote something to Iran that was like, you have my permission to kill him or something like that, right? So they're going to say Iran, 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 Iran. Radicalized by Iran. Is he working with Iran? What's going on here? Kind of sketchy connections. Iran, Iran, Iran. And they want to do that because they want us to get us closer to war with Iran. They've always wanted this, right? So they're going to harp away on that. Then I told you, the fake anti-war types, what are they going to focus on? The Ukraine portion. Because he was big time pro-Ukraine, anti-Russia, thought it was a battle between pure good and pure evil, right? And the fake anti-war types are going to do Ukraine, 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 Ukraine. Well, not only does Tim Pool do that, he takes it one step further. Listen to this.
But I have to question. We have to pursue this. They will not do it. They will not do it. There's a very real question. Is there some kind of Ukrainian involvement? Look, this guy, he's a grunt. He is an ideological wingnut. He's the suspect in this case. Okay, I want to make sure that's clear. Everybody's reporting his picture, his name, and I want to make sure it's clear. These are allegations, and he's a suspect. Maybe it was somebody else, who knows? Should this be the man, then I think it is completely reasonable to investigate Ukrainian direction, Ukrainian interest, direction, or involvement.
So he's saying maybe he's like a spy or an assassin for Ukraine. Maybe Ukraine directed this guy. Maybe he was on a mission from Ukraine. That's what he's saying. That's what he's saying. Tim, do you realize how fucking stupid that sounds? Do you realize how stupid that sounds? Tim, Ukraine is our ally. We've sent them billions and billions of dollars. Why would they want to attack Donald Trump? In fact, Zelensky's gone out of his way to be kind to Donald Trump. Trump has even said that Zelensky's gone out of his way to be kind to him. Why? Because he wants to hedge his bets. He doesn't know who's going to win this next election. He has no idea who's going to win this next election. So he's hedging his bets to say, I got to be on good terms with Trump. I got to be on good terms with Biden and Kamala. And therefore, whoever gets in, they will keep funding us, right? The other thing is, this notion that Trump was like massively anti-Ukraine and pro-Russia is total bullshit. Trump axed a pipeline that was supposed to go to Russia. He helped send money and weapons to Ukraine. He helped build up NATO right on Russia's border. It's just total narrative BS that, oh, he was weak or soft with Ukraine and he was very in the pocket of Russia or whatever. That's all nonsense, right? There would be zero reason why Ukraine would want to assassinate Donald Trump. Zero reason. In fact, Trump has said as part of his, I'm going to make a deal in a day, he's come out and explained what that meant further. And basically like, okay, so if we don't get a deal, I'm going to send even more money and even more weapons to Ukraine so that they can crush Russia, right? This is what he said. When asked to elaborate further on, I'll have a deal in a day, I'll have a deal in a day. Basically, he's saying, if they don't accept whatever terms I throw out there, then I'm going to go over the top and fund Ukraine even more money, more weapons so that they can win. This is what he said, right? So there would be zero reason for Ukraine to want to take out Donald Trump. It's the exact opposite. They're courting Donald Trump. Just like they're courting the Democrats, they're courting the Republicans. There's a consensus in Washington. I don't know if you noticed. There's a pro-Ukraine consensus. And also, let's just be clear, him saying, oh, we need to investigate whether or not, this is all totally made up. Yeah, the guy was massively pro-Ukraine. He was also massively pro-Taiwan. He was also massively anti-homeless. He was also massively anti-vax and a COVID hoaxer, right? Should we investigate pharma? Because maybe they were behind it. Like, what are you doing, bro? What are you doing? I told you, the narrative humpers are going to narrative hump. Depending on whose coverage you watch, they will omit so many key facts about this guy, right? They'll just harp away on the thing that suits their own narrative. That's what he's doing here. So what's the reality of this guy, Ryan Ruth? Well, I gave you all the facts that we had about it. Registered unaffiliated voter in North Carolina. That's what he was. Supported Trump in 2016. Went on to support Tulsi Gabbard in 2019. Also allegedly donated to Tom Steyer, however you say it, Andrew Yang. Later on, had publicly posted he would prefer to see a ticket of Vivek Ramaswamy and Nikki Haley, right? Like, the guy's all over the place. And he's got a rap sheet longer than a novel, okay? Like, I mean, the list of crimes, we went through them the other day. He's committed a lot of crimes. This guy is not well. Like, he was fucked up in the head. Total either severe bipolar or paranoid schizophrenia. This is what he is, right? So what's Occam's razor in this scenario? You guys tell me. What's Occam's razor as to how/why this happened, right? What is it? Is it he's a fucking Ukrainian secret agent, which is something Tim Pool just pulled out of his ass a fucking week after the story came out that he was taking money from Russia unwittingly? Is that what's likely? Or is it the guy's probably a fucking nut? The guy's a nut. Gee, real hard one to figure out. But it's not as sexy to tell you that truth. And you can't narrative hump in that scenario now, can you? You can't go Ukraine, 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 right? Or you can't go Iran, 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 if you're a neocon. By the way, what are the Republicans more generally saying? Lefty, 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 lefty. Democrat, Democrat, Democrat. Democrat, Democrat, Democrat. Look, got a Biden-Harris bumper sticker on his truck. Again, they will totally omit the other facts about supporting Republicans too, because it doesn't suit the narrative. It doesn't suit the narrative. And that's what he's doing here. This should be in a textbook under the definition of narrative humper. That's what he is. Let me fit the narrative that, he said what'd he say a few weeks ago or a few months ago? It was like, Ukraine is the enemy of the world. Ukraine is our number one enemy. He said something to that effect. And would you look at that? He was unwittingly taking money from Russia. And now it's soon thereafter, you're still going right back to to these talking points. And again, this is just totally made up. By the way, what we do know vis-a-vis Ukraine, yes, he was massively pro-Ukraine. He went to Ukraine and tried to partake in the fighting. And the Ukrainians were like, this guy's fucked up in the head, bro. This guy's fucked up. So that's what we know publicly. But instead, he does this fucking jujitsu move and says maybe he's acting at the direction of the Ukrainian government. Please. Yeah, the country that comes hat in hand begging us for more money, no matter who's in office, that's what they're going to try to assassinate one of the two people they've been sucking up to relentlessly, trying to get in their good graces. I mean, it's just dumb political analysis. It's just so it's so gross. It's just so gross. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.